Hello and welcome back to Pokémon Chat-eau. We've got a pretty self-explanatory episode this time, although it wasn't that easy, to be perfectly honest. My personal top 10 favorite Pokemon. Now, I know everyone seems to have that one favorite Pokemon, but to choose a top 10 and putting them in an order was actually kind of tough. At least most of it, or some of it, because I already knew what my top 5 was. It was a matter of choosing 5 more, putting them in an order, blah, blah, blah. And with this episode, it's gonna be, it might be a little lengthy. It's just gonna be me, like usual. But we got a lot of submissions, like the most I've ever received. So I want to talk about that real quick. That way I don't have to pause between number 1 and number 2, kind of like I did with the top 10 battle themes. So I just want to talk about those real quick. And the poll, I guess we can do the poll. So basically the poll was, how did you choose your favorite Pokemon? And the responses, the answers were, the multiple choices were nostalgia, aesthetic and cuteness, battle experience, or for personal reasons. Now on Twitter we actually got 10 votes this time, which I was pretty happy about. Nostalgia got 10%, aesthetic got 30%, battle experience got 30%, and personal reasons got 30%. We got a triple tie this time around on Twitter, and honestly that's pretty awesome. But we got a more defining result at Amino, like usual. 62 votes, with nostalgia being 11.3%, aesthetic at 19.4%, battle experience at 22.6%, and personal reasons at 46.8%. Yeah, I could see that. And just because the numbers are, higher or lower, that doesn't mean one answer is correct. Obviously, that's not what these polls are about. All these are perfectly valid reasons to have a favorite Pokemon. My top 10 just fluctuate between all these reasonings, so it's gonna be I'll explain as I go through. But let's talk about what other people had to say. And on Twitter we have I believe it's Ikuze at Fergon _DA_, and all he did was he just posted a gif of Rowlet in Ash's backpack. So I'm guessing his favorite Pokemon is Rowlet because of the cuteness. He didn't say anything else. He just posted this gif of Rowlet, which is adorable. So that's what I go off of, at least. On Amino, we have the Masked Froakie, who said Marini and Toxapex because they relate to me. That's hilarious. And yeah, I like Toxapex. He's pretty sick Pokemon. Gladion said Silvally because it's a badass Pokemon and has an awesome backstory. You know what? That's perfect coming from a guy named Gladion. And yeah, Gladion being created just to fight Ultra Beast, that's pretty cool. And Silvally looks awesome as well. I just never used Silvally in any of my playthroughs of Sun and Moon. Probably because you only get one and it's post-game. So that doesn't help, and you can't breed it to make babies, so it's kind of hard to use that during a playthrough. We got Muncha? I don't know how to pronounce that. He says, first, Bulbasaur, my first Pokemon and my start into a lifelong passion for Pokemon. Second, Alolan Vulpix, because it's just super adorable and it's stolen my heart immediately. Third, Larvitar, for nostalgia, being a kid and raising my Larvitar in Pokemon Gold to be the last Pokemon I needed to complete the Pokedex. That's awesome, man. Like, it's kind of funny how it was Larvitar, Tyranitar, like that line was the last Pokemon you had to get. It wasn't a legendary or anything like that, no. It was Larvitar because that bastard takes a long time to evolve. I think it was like level 55 or something. Ghost said, probably Drifloon and Drifblim. The Sinnoh region has always been my favorite, and ghost types are just mysterious and almost always have great designs. My competitive Drifblim was superb, I think. Tacky and evil, but still. Plus, they're cute and nostalgic. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's this weird scene. Drifloon carry children away and to never be seen again. But yeah, those are cool Pokemon. I never used them personally. I think they're all right. Video Game Boy returns once again, saying, "I can't decide numbers 2 and 3, but I can say number 1, Munchlax, my first Pokemon from one of the Pokemon Ranger games." That's awesome, dude, and it explains your profile picture. Munchlax, he's all right. I like Snorlax a little more, but Munchlax is definitely pretty cool. Aqua the Vaporeon said, "Vaporeon because Kanto has always been my favorite, and it's from there. It's an evolution. Everyone has got to like at least one evolution. Blue is one of my favorite colors, and its species is unique. A fish fox sting." I love that. It's like a fish fox thing. Yeah, it's one of those. Like, it's both of them combined, I guess. And yeah, Vaporeon. I freaking love Vaporeon, and I love all the evolutions. Vaporeon's definitely one of those. I remember Vaporeon in the Pokemon Heroes movie. Like, this trainer was just pouring water on its face, and he's just like, refreshing. And like, I love Vaporeon for that. I think it's adorable. Zeroix, I think that's how you pronounce it. Zeroix said, "Midnight Lycanroc because I love wolves and werewolves, and its design has my all-time favorite color scheme being red, black, and white." Gotta agree with you there, man. I love Midnight Lycanroc. That's my favorite form. I do like all of them. Midnight is just I think Midnight's the coolest one. I just love how it stands and whatnot. I love its shiny form. Everything about Midnight Lycanroc, I can get down with. Cosmic Ninja said, "Flareon for 2 reasons. 1, he was my first evolution, and 2, I really like his design." Flareon doesn't get enough love, so I'll just say that. It's just unfortunate with that non-existent move pool. Yeah, I love Flareon's design. I think it's super cute. Just wish it was a little bit better. Pig said, "Crobat because it was MVP in my Y Wonderlock." You know, I've never attempted a Wonderlock or any sort of those lock things, but Crobat is definitely awesome. Red the Small Marshmallow said, "Marshadow because everything about it." I love the name Red the Small Marshmallow. And Marshadow, yeah, he's really unique. I like the fighting ghost typing. And he was really cool in the movie I Choose You. Definitely one of the better parts of that movie. Pokefusion Dude said, "My favorite Pokemon is Gallade because I have a shiny." Gallade? Yeah, I like Gallade. I like his Mega form because his arms look like he has a dual disc on, and I love Yu-Gi-Oh! And Wally's Gallade is pretty awesome. So yeah, I think Gallade's pretty cool. Kay said, "Wobbuffet and Wynaut are my absolute favorites. Jesse's Wobbuffet is probably what made me love them. He's so funny and pretty iconic, and Wobbuffet is actually a really good mon with Shadow Tag." Yes, he was, especially in, I believe, Gen 3, where he was actually banned in competitive play, because if you have 2 Wobbuffets and they both have Shadow Tag, they can't escape, and then they keep going until they struggle, and if they both happen to have leftovers, which they usually do, the struggle will only take a little bit of damage, and the leftovers will heal more than they take damage. It'll be an endless battle, and that's why they had to ban him, just because of that situation. And you can, if you could find more information on that with False Swipe Gaming, definitely check those guys out. I love their channel. They talk about Wobbuffet, and yeah. Lord Spoink said, "Infernape simply because it was my first ever Pokemon with such an awesome design." Infernape's pretty cool, man. I think I went with Turtwig the first time I played Diamond and Pearl, but I remember liking Infernape a lot. Although I was disappointed that he was firefighting. Not nearly as disappointed with Emboar, that he was also firefighting. But yeah, I like Infernape, looks cool. He is also a pretty good mon, so I dig it. Jaden the Great said, Gallet has been my favorite since Diamond. Yep, just like Poke Fusion dude over here. Awesome, dude. And then Shiny Norbert said, Greninja because design, shiny, battle bond, color scheme, and I am a confirmed Gen 6er. Greninja, he's such a weird Pokemon. His tongue is a scarf. But I like him in Smash Brothers. Yeah, he's like, as you said, his shiny is awesome looking. And Battle Bond, like, that's cool. I don't like how they call it Ash Greninja. It could have been a better name for it, but whatever. Take it like that, I guess. Now the last one is quite long. It's Circus Freak Danny again. 3. Smeargle. It has an interesting design and theme that can completely wreck any opponent with, let's face it, an unbelievable, hard-to-predict moveset. I mean, is it a sweeper, a hazard setter, or a status gifter? Maybe it's something else? B. Mew. Cute, cuddly, and lethal. It's an enigma with a candy coating and the best non-Smeargle move pool in the game. Fear this feline fetus. And number 1, Ditto. When this Gax on the attack, there's no coming back. If winning's in your code, then it's just gonna hack. You can say moves, but I'll just say Ditto. You're gonna have a bad time against this sublime slime. Give it up for Ditto. Circus Freak Danny, poetry. That is beautiful, and I love it. There's a reason I saved you for last, buddy. Keep it up. I love all your comments, man. So thanks for coming by again. Thank you, everyone, because that was a lot of people, man. Like, that was the most I've ever received, I believe. And it's so awesome that you guys are passionate about your favorite Pokemon. Now that we're 12 minutes in, let's talk about my favorite Pokemon. My top 10 favorite Pokemon. And I'll explain why some Pokemon are going to have longer explanations than others. Let's get to it. Number 10, Absol. Absol is just, I really love the way this Pokemon looks. It's one of my favorites mostly because of its looks. And I absolutely love the Mega Evolution. I think the wings are absolutely beautiful. And it was my first Pokemon I used with Magic Bounce. And using Magic Bounce is so satisfying when it works, man. And funny enough, I remember this story with Mega Absol. I wanted to catch this Ditto, so I sent out Absol, and just kind of like a why the heck not reason, I Mega Evolved it. And then it transformed into the Mega Absol and actually killed a bunch of my team before I could kill it. I was like, wow, I didn't expect that. I didn't know Ditto can transform into a Mega. I just thought that was pretty funny. But yes, Mega, or just Absol, I love its design so much. Next one. Number 9, Latias. Another one where I picked it mostly because of design. I think it's super adorable. It's a very cute dragon. I love the red and the white on it. I love its shiny form where it's gold instead of red. And I definitely loved it in Pokemon Heroes, which is, at the moment, of all the movies I've reviewed up to this point, is my favorite movie so far. So yeah, Latias is just super adorable. I love the way it looks. It's pretty simple. Aesthetic and cuteness is the reason. Number 8, Lucario. Now, Lucario is this, he's one of the mascot Pokemon, I guess, quote unquote, kind of like with Charizard. He's in Super Smash Brothers. He has his own movie, even though he's not a legendary. I love Lucario's design so much, and that's not the only reason. With Sun and Moon, I was picking up competitive gaming, like actually EV training and whatnot, and Lucario was one of the first ones I actually EV trained, and he helped me get through so much, man. He helped me so much with the battle tree, and after all the fighting experience I did with him, I have to put him on this list somewhere. And yeah, it's mostly battle experience, but I do love its design. The Mega, Lucario is definitely one of my absolute favorites because of that. I love Lucario. It's awesome. Now, number 7, Braixen. Yeah, you could probably think like, oh, I only like cute Pokemon. Well, that's a good majority of why these Pokemon are on this list. But with Braixen, I kind of have a thing for magicians. Like, I don't know, it just started back when I guess you could say my very first quote-unquote waifu was Dark Magician Girl. Like, that was the first character that I actually had a crush on as a kid. And I didn't know what a waifu was. I don't even think the term was a thing back then. Maybe it was. I just didn't know. So, Dark Magician Girl was my very original waifu. I love Trixie from My Little Pony, who's a magician. And, yeah, that's my absolute favorite pony. And Trucy Wright, I love Trucy Wright from the Ace Attorney series. And it took those 3 to make me realize, oh, maybe I do have this thing where I just like magician characters. Lo and behold, we got Braixen, who has the ability magician, has a wand that's super cute, is a fire psychic fennec fox. It's so adorable. And I prefer Braixen over Delphox just because it's kind of weird. Like, it's kind of hard to explain, I guess, but like, Braixen looks like she's a magician where like she's still passionate about being a magician. And Delphox kind of looks like she's like, I'm tired of this job. Like, in some cases. Like, I've seen cute pictures of Delphox for sure. Just not nearly as plentiful as Braixen. I think Braixen is just way better than Delphox. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the only one who thinks that, obviously. Braixen is like definitely the popular one of that line. If not Braixen, then Fennekin for sure. But yeah, Magician. I really like Magician characters, and those 3, with those other 3 I named off, Braixen definitely fits in that poll. Number 6, Sylveon. Oh my god, Sylveon is so cute. I love Sylveon's design so much. It's another one of those Pokemon where it's, the cuteness definitely is a big factor, don't get me wrong. But I have other reasons to why I love Sylveon. Battle experience. For anyone who's played the Royale, the four trainer battle Royale in Sun and Moon, I don't know, maybe I just sucked at it, but I kept getting my ass kicked, especially in the vanilla Sun and Moon. It wasn't until Ultra where I tried to do that again, and I really didn't want to because I kept getting my ass kicked, and it was just so annoying. But this time I used Sylveon as my header. Sylveon got me through all 4 ranks by herself first try. I was in total disbelief when I was able to beat all the way up to master rank on my first try and win with just Sylveon. And at that point I was like, wow, I have to love Sylveon. I just have to. And with Sylveon as well, like, I love its shiny form. The shiny looks so pretty. Shiny Sylveon is one of my favorite shinies. It might be my favorite. It's my favorite shiny of the evolutions, I think. It just looks so pretty. I absolutely love it. For it being a tank, for it getting me through Battle Royale finally, which I despised before. But yep, Sylveon definitely up there, and not just because of cuteness, although that is a big factor. Now here we are, the top 5. Like I said before, I already knew what the top 5 was gonna be, so let's get to it. Number 5, Alolan Meowth. Now, I love sassy characters. I absolutely love sassy characters. And Alolan Meowth specifically is one sassy cat. I love the way it stands. I love the way it just, like, it's so smug. Especially in the anime. Like, as much as I don't watch the anime, I saw clips of Meowth. Absolutely adore it. I think it's super cute, and sassy characters are definitely one of my absolute favorites, just in general. That's why I love Midna from Twilight Princess so much. Midna is one of my favorite characters ever. Just ever. And it's because of how sassy she is. And Alolan Meowth has a good amount of sass. That's one sassy cat that I can't get enough of. Number 4, Lurantis. Another one of those where, like, oh, it's the cuteness factor, but I've never fallen in love with a Pokemon this fast before. Going through Pokemon Sun my first time, I run into a Fomantis in the wild and immediately, like, fall in love. Like, I just saw how cute it was. I was like, oh, I want this in my team now. And so I did my best to catch that specific one. Figured out how to evolve it, saw its evolution, and freaking gasped again because Lurantis is just such a beautiful Pokemon. It's got candy cane pants. It's so pink and I love it. And its shiny variation is green, my favorite color. Oh, Lurantis. I just love Lurantis so much. I wish there was more, like, I guess, art or anything of it, because Lurantis, I don't know if it gets enough love, or maybe because it's just new. I don't know. Definitely would love to see more Lurantis. And yeah, just mostly the cuteness factor. I did use it for my playthrough, and it did help out a lot. I'm also it was weird seeing Fomantis, me catching it and realizing it is a solid grass type and not grass bug. Though I do appreciate it not being bug, because it would have been 4 times weak to fire and flying. No thank you. So yeah, I just love Lurantis. I want more of Lurantis right now. And the fact that you can get a totem Lurantis in Ultra Sun and Moon, absolutely love that. And you bet your ass I've got that one. Now here are the top 3. Now these, like, I only have these in this order because I had to choose them in an order. These 3 can rotate all the time. I love these Pokemon pretty much equally. The only reason they're in this order is because of the timing of which I picked these favorite Pokemon. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Number 3, you're probably looking at it right now, the silhouette at least, it is Weavile. Remember what I said about sassy characters? Weavile is the sassiest Pokemon, I believe. My god, I freaking love this cat. And yes, it is a cat, damn it. Cam and I explain how it is a cat. We see in Pokken that it's licking its claws and cleaning itself like a cat. It is a cat, damn it. And so, yeah, you could say, oh, it's a weasel. Yeah, it's also a cat. It's more of a cat, actually. Anyways, Weavile. So, not just because I guess most of the reason is the sass, but like, it was because of Pokken that I love Weavile so much. And I did like Weavile before. I really liked the design. I didn't realize how sassy it could be until I played Pokken, because I was going through, it was early in the Pokken game, for me at least, and I was trying to pick a main fighter. And after going through a lot, I went to Weavile. Really liked its playstyle, and as I was playing with it more and more, I saw its wing animations and whatnot, and absolutely loved how sassy it got. He's so confident, so smirky, so sassy. It uses taunt in the game. Like, just everything about Weavile in that game I absolutely love so much. And that just became an unhealthy love for this Pokemon, to be honest. And that's why he's in the as a silhouette in the YouTube background that I use. I just wanted to put him somewhere, or her. I could choose between him and her on for Weavile. Other Pokemon have specific genders I prefer to have. Weavile, I can go either or. And I love Weavile so much. Okay. Anyways, let's move on. Number 2. Chikorita. Now here's where it starts to get a little complicated as to why I have the top 2 at least. Chikorita, we have to go back a couple years. So we're at this convention called Furry Fiesta in Texas. And I'm only there for one day. I get a badge for one day, and I don't have much money at this con. But I wanted to buy something. And lo and behold, I see a Chikorita plushie just, at someone's table. I was like, alright, I'll buy that. That's really cute. Bought the Chikorita plushie, carried it with me all around, setting it on tables whenever I'm, sitting down. And then my friends decided it would be funny to knock it over. So I put it up, and then they knock it over again. And then put it back up, and they knock it over again. And this went on throughout the whole day at that con until it got to a point where they were saying anarchy whenever they would knock it over. So Chikorita is just minding its business, standing up, when all of a sudden anarchy, and they just knock it over. And that poor thing has fallen so much over the past years, and it became so synonymous with our group that even people who weren't at that con, like, that joke started to spread with just anything that could stand. Like, if they knocked it over, they would just say anarchy, and anarchy became pretty much an in-joke / meme in our group. And whenever someone would knock something over, anarchy, just for no reason, just because of that. And it didn't even click to me. It didn't even occur to me until a year later when I went back to that convention, and I brought Chikorita with me because I was like, hey, I got this Chikorita there. At that point, I was like, Chikorita is responsible for creating this in-joke that I think is hilarious, but at the same time annoying as hell. And so I feel like Chikorita needs to be one of my favorites. And because of the anarchy, because of this joke that got way bigger than it had any right to be, and it was Chikorita, I had to have Chikorita be one of my favorites. And ever since then, I've loved that little green bean, despite it being quite possibly the worst starter, at least when you compare when you put up the starters within their own generations. In Gold and Silver, it was a pretty bad choice to pick Chikorita. One, because it was a grass type. There's plenty of grass types you can find. And two, it literally has no advantage against any of those gyms. Not until you get to Kanto, which at that point you shouldn't even need to have. You shouldn't have to worry about that. It was just Typhlosion and Feraligatr were just such better choices, but Chikorita will always have a special place in my heart as being number 2. I love you, Chikorita. I really do. Now, number 1. You guys probably already know what number 1 is too. Now that I've eliminated what the number 2 spot was. It's in my namesake. It is the logo of Pokémon Chat-eau. It is Jolteon. Jolteon. Now, why is Jolteon my favorite Pokemon of all time? Well, we have to go back again. It was at the same year that I got the Chikorita plushie. I was at a convention called Brony Fanfare. Yeah, another convention that has pretty much nothing to do with Pokemon. I was at a pony convention, and I was just exploring. I go to the game room, and they have all sorts of systems set up, including a Nintendo 64. Someone happened to be playing Pokemon Puzzle League there. Like I said before, I love Pokemon Puzzle League. It is my favorite Pokemon spin-off game, despite Pokken and all that. It's the most time I've spent on any spin-off Pokemon game ever. Me and my 2 brothers played the ever-loving hell out of that game. We got insanely good to the point where we would have 5-minute battles. It was ridiculous. I absolutely love that game, despite it being Tetris Attack with a Pokemon skin on it. And it's the only Pokemon game, well, at least it's one of the only Pokemon games to be released only in America. Yeah. So this guy was playing, and I was like, I need to play this guy, obviously. So I sit down and we have a game together. I get my ass stomped. Make note, it has been months since I've played this game, maybe years. So I was like, all right, that's fine. I'm warming up. I'm getting a feel for it again. I'm gonna choose Lieutenant Surge as my trainer this time. Go with Lieutenant Surge, and if you're unfamiliar, whenever you're playing 2-player battle, when you choose a trainer, they each have 3 Pokemon. You have to eliminate all 3 Pokemon to win. So whenever he beat me 3 in a row. Like, it was 3-0. He had 3 Pokemon left at 0. I got my ass stomped. Whatever. Second round. I choose Lieutenant Surge. He chooses, I forget. And Raichu gets kicked out. My Raichu gets kicked out. My Electrode gets kicked out. So I'm down to Jolteon left. I'm like, fuck. I don't want him to sweep me a second time. With using Jolteon, I swept and beat all 3 of his Pokemon in a row. Like, no problem. It was weird. Like, something sparked inside me whenever I was using Jolteon. I don't know what it was, but at that point, it is 1-1. We have to have a final 2 out of 3 to see who is the better one. So he picks Sabrina. I stick with Lieutenant Surge, obviously, because of the power I felt during that last game. It was a damn good game, too. Just 3 in a row. It was so great. Starts off like it did before. Raichu and Electrode get their asses stomped immediately. So now it's time for Jolteon to bring it back, right? Jolteon sweeps the first 2 of Sabrina's Pokemon like that. Just like the other game, Jolteon sweeps them all. So now it is time, and now it's down to this. He has an Alakazam left, I have a Jolteon left. 1-on-1. Final Pokemon each. Winner wins the 2 out of 3. This match gets intense. Like, I'm talking like 7 minutes long. Like, an absurd long match for just this 2 Pokemon to fight. Just going constantly back and forth. It is like, I'm sweating, I'm doing my absolute best, and at the very end, by a hair, I lose. But I didn't care. Like, that was such an excellent match that I felt like, I'm pretty sure we both felt like, yeah, we're pretty much even at this point. And at that point, I was like, Jolteon is my spirit animal. I've done it. I have a favorite Pokemon now. It took about 16 years, but I finally picked a favorite Pokemon. And it was Jolteon. Jolteon, I love you so much. It has a green shiny, which is my favorite color. It goes perfectly with my name, Jolteon. Like, just everything. It lines up perfectly. I love the spiky. Like, I love the spiky boy. I love him so much. But just like I said before, Jolteon, Chikorita, Weavile, those 3 are like dead tied. The only reason I picked those in that order is because of what time I picked them. It was a few months until I picked Chikorita, and a few months after that I chose Weavile, and then like now I have a cacophony of the top 10. Holy crap, it took 16 years though to get it. And I love it. I just love it so much. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little rant about my top 10 favorite Pokemon. Some Pokemon have a longer explanation than others, but I mean, I'd love to hear what you guys' favorite Pokemon are and why. I want to know how you chose it. Like, was it a personal reason? Like with Jolteon? Was it battle experience? Like with Lucario? Was it cuteness? For me, it would be Latias. Or is it a mix of them? Like Sylveon was cuteness and battle experience. Or is it nostalgia? Like your very first Pokemon that you just love because it was your first one. I'd love to hear it in the comments, so please let me know. And as always, thank you guys so much for listening. You guys have yourselves a fantastic day, and screw you, Cam. We'll see you later.